Okay, good morning, students. Uh, Today we'll discuss regarding that is the vascular events and that the changes in the vascular permeability. In the last class, we have discussed about the vascular event. Clear, we are discussing regarding the mechanism of this acute inflammation. In that, I told you in the last class that is it is divided into vascular events and the cellular events. Clear. In the vascular events, I told you which includes the hemodynamic changes as well as the changes in the vascular permeability. We have discussed in detail regarding the hemodynamic changes. What are the hemodynamic changes that are going to be taking place in the vascular events? Okay, we had seen the four changes, that is transient vasoconstriction, persistent progressive vasodilation, slowing orthostasis, and the last one is leukocyte margination. Okay, today we'll discuss regarding the changes in vascular permeability. We'll see what are the different changes in vascular permeability. Okay, if you see this changes in vascular permeability, in case of acute inflammation, whatever the non-permeable endothelial layer will be present, that will become very leaky. Clear? See what I'm saying here, the changes in the vascular permeability, that means whatever the blood vessels, okay, which is present in case of acute inflammation, what happens, whatever the non-permeable endothelial layers, okay, that will be present, that will become very leaky. Clear? Suppose if you see this is a normal blood vessel, here I told you the lining of the blood vessels, you're having the endothelial cells. Clear? See, because of these endothelial cells in the lining of the blood vessels, which is non-permeable. Clear? That means which doesn't allow any harmful substances or the bulk substances inside the blood vessels. But here what happens in case of acute inflammation, this non-permeable endothelial layers will become leaky. Okay, see, we'll see the different mechanisms, okay, how this non-permeable endothelial layer will become leaky. We'll see what are the different mechanisms so that this non-permeable membrane, that is endothelial membrane, that will become very leaky. We'll see one by one what are the different mechanisms. Okay, in that the first one is contraction of endothelial cells. First mechanism is contraction of endothelial cells. We'll see what is this contraction of these endothelial cells. See, this is the most common reaction you are going to be observed, which will be leading to the increased leakiness of this, okay, that is endothelial layer. Okay, this mainly you are going to be observed in case of venules. Clear? In case of venules, you are going to be observe this type of contraction of endothelial cells. Okay, this contraction of the endothelial cells, which is the most common thing you are going to be observed during the acute inflammation. Clear? See, because of this, what happens, the endothelial cells develops temporary gaps. Okay, not permanent, which is a temporary gaps are going to be developed between, okay, the cells due to the contractions. Clear? See, I told you already, this is a normal blood vessel, you are having endothelial cells like this. Clear? See here what happens, because of this acute inflammation, here there will be a temporary gaps, okay, like this there will be, okay, this we will call it as temporary gaps is going to be formed between the endothelial cells. Why? Because these endothelial cells undergoing contractions. Clear? See, as they are undergoing contraction, then what happens, there will be a temporary gaps that are going to be formed between the endothelial cells. Clear? See, and this is mainly mediated by some chemicals like okay, histamine. This is mediated by histamine, okay, which also mediated by bradykinins and also other, okay, chemical mediators. Okay, next one is this going to be response. Okay, the response of this contraction of the endothelial cells, okay, that is going to be begins immediately after the injury. Okay, this is going to be begins immediately after injury. Okay, this is the first mechanism where the non-permeable endothelial layer will become leaky. Okay, what is that first mechanism? That is contraction of the endothelial cells. Okay, you remember the contraction of the endothelial cells means, see, this is the normal cells. Clear? See, that means there will be very tight compact between the cells you are going to be observed in case of the endothelial cells. But because of acute inflammation, what happens? There will be contractions of these endothelial cells. Okay, because of the contraction, what happens? There will be formation of temporary gaps between the endothelial cells. Clear? See, suppose if there is a temporary gap, then what happens automatically, which will be leaky in nature. Clear? See, this mainly you are going to be observed in case of the venules, and mainly this contraction of endothelial cells are mediated by some chemicals like histamine, bradykinins and chemical mediators. See, mediated by these chemicals means what? During the acute inflammation, these chemicals which will be causing this contraction of these endothelial cells. Clear? See, and this type of response, that is contraction of endothelial response, which is going to be begins immediately after the injury. Okay, this is the one of the mechanism how the non-permeable endothelial layer will become leaky in nature. Okay, and next we'll see what is the next mechanism that is going to be involved in this vascular permeability. Okay, see that you will call it as a retraction of endothelial cells. Okay, what is the second mechanism? That is retraction of endothelial cells. We'll see what is meant by this retraction of endothelial cells. Clear? So the retraction of endothelial cells means structural reorganization of the cytoskeleton. What is this? Structural reorganization of cytoskeleton of endothelial cells. Clear? See, what is the use of the cytoskeleton in a cell? See, the cytoskeleton which will be maintaining the shape of the cells. Clear? See, here in case of acute inflammation, there will be a structural reorganization of the cytoskeleton of endothelial cells. Clear? See, that means what happens? There will be change in the shape of the endothelial cells you are going to be observed during this acute inflammation, that you will call it as retraction of the endothelial cells. Clear? See, this causes reversible retraction. This you will call it as a reversible retraction it is. Okay, which is not a permanent retraction, which is a reversible retraction of intercellular junctions. Okay, of intercellular junctions. Clear? See, that means whenever there is a change in the shape of the endothelial cells, okay, again this condition is going to be reversible in case of the acute inflammation. Okay, this is also most common in case of venules. Okay, like previously we had seen regarding the contraction of endothelial cells. Okay, and this can also be mediated by some chemicals like cytokines. Okay, and next one is interleukin 1, and next one is tumor necrosis factor alpha. Okay, these chemicals are going to be mediates the mechanism of retraction of the endothelial cells. Okay, and if you see regarding the response, onset of response takes, okay, 4 to 6 hours after the injury. and this going to be lasts for 2 to 4 hours. Okay, onset of this reaction you are going to be observed only after 4 to 6 hours of the injury. Clear? Previously I told you the contraction of the endothelial cells, that is an immediate response, but this retraction of endothelial cells response you are going to be observed only after 4 to 6 hours of the injury, and this condition is going to be lasts for 2 to 4 hours. Okay, this is the second and one of the mechanism that are going to be involved where the non-permeable endothelial layer will become permeable. Is it clear? See, what is this? The retraction of the endothelial cells. Okay, what is this retraction of the endothelial cells? Here you are going to be observe the structural reorganization of cytoskeleton of the endothelial cells, and which causes the reversible retraction of intercellular junctions. Clear? Mainly this you are going to be observed in case of venules, and this is going to be mediated by cytokines, interleukin 1, tumor necrosis factor alpha. Clear? And this response, okay, onset of response takes 4 to 6 hours after injury, and this is going to be lasts for 2 to 4 hours. Clear? See, this is regarding the second one mechanism that is going to be involved here, and we'll see next one is direct injury to the endothelial cells. Okay, the next mechanism is, okay, that is direct injury to endothelial cells. Okay, if you see what is this direct injury to the endothelial cells. Clear? We had seen the many different causes for the inflammation. See, any of the agent, if it is directly causing injury to the endothelial cells. Clear? See, then what happens, which will be causes necrosis. Okay, that means necrosis means which will be causing the death of the endothelial cells, and there will be appearance of physical gaps. Okay, appearance of physical gaps. See, what is meant by this appearance of these physical gaps? Suppose if you see, this is a blood vessel. Okay, this is the endothelial cells. Because of okay, any agent, okay, directly which will be damaging this kind of, okay, endothelial cells, then what happens, which will be leading to the death of these cells. Clear? So if there is a death of the cell, you are going to be observe a physical gap here. Clear? So that you are going to be observe here direct injury to the endothelial cells. If there is a physical gap here, immediately this will become leaky. Clear? Direct injury to the endothelial cells, that means which will be causing the necrosis, that means causing the death of the cells, which will be leading to the appearance of the physical gaps. Clear? Here in this case there will be a process of thrombosis. Okay, process of thrombosis is initiated at the site of damaged endothelial cells. Clear? See, whenever there is a damage of these endothelial cells, immediately the process of thrombosis is going to be initiated. See, generally what happens if there is any damage to the skin, then what happens after a particular time, there will be formation of a clot. Is it clear? See, that is the process of thrombosis. Clear? Here also there is a damage to the endothelial cells. During this damage, what happens? This thrombosis process is going to be initiated only at the site of damaged endothelial cells. Okay, not to the other cells. Wherever there is a damage to the endothelial cells, there only this thrombosis process is going to be initiated. Clear? And this is going to be mainly affects, that is venules, capillaries and arterioles. Clear? Previous two mechanisms we had seen only the venules are going to be affected, but this direct injury means which may affect either venules or capillaries or the arterioles. Clear? And here if you see, two things you have to remember regarding this direct injury. Whenever the permeability appears immediately after injury, suppose if you are going to be observe this response immediately, okay, after injury, and if it lasts for hours or days, okay, and if it lasts for hours and days, this you will call it as immediate sustained leakage. Okay, this you will call it as immediate, okay, sustained leakage. Okay, and next one is or occurs, okay, this response occurs after 2 to 12 hours, and this is going to be lasts for hours or days. Okay, this you will call it as delayed prolonged leakage. Okay, this you will call it as delayed prolonged leakage. Okay, see this immediate sustained leakage, that is you are going to be observed in case of bacterial infections. Okay, this you are going to be observed in case of bacterial infections. Okay, this delayed prolonged leakage conditions you are going to be observed in case of thermal or radiation injury. Okay, in case of thermal or radiation injury. Okay, this is all regarding the another mechanism. You will call it as direct injury to the endothelial cells. Okay, what is this direct injury to the endothelial cells? Here you are going to be observed that is necrosis and the appearance of the physical gaps. See, that means because this agents directly causing damage to the endothelial cells, immediately leading to the death of the cells. Clear? So that there will be formation of physical gaps between the endothelial cells. Okay, because there is a death of the cells here, initiating the process of thrombosis. Clear? At the site of damaged endothelial cells. Okay, mainly this going to be affects that is the three, that is venules, capillaries, as well as the arterioles. Here you have to remember the two conditions. See, that is immediate sustained leakage and delayed prolonged leakage. Okay, what is this immediate sustained leakage? If this response is immediate after injury and which lasts for hours or days, okay, that you will call it as immediate sustained leakage, and this you are going to be observed whenever there is any bacterial infections. The next one is if the response is after 2 to 12 hours, and if it is going to be last for hours or days, that you will call it as delayed prolonged leakage, and this you are going to be observed in case of thermal or radiation injury. Okay, this is regarding the direct injury to the endothelial cells. Okay, and we'll see what is the next mechanism that is going to be involved regarding the conversion of non-permeable endothelial cells into a permeable endothelial cells. Okay, next mechanism is endothelial injury. Okay, endothelial injury mediated by leukocytes. Okay, mainly mediated by, okay, that is leukocytes. We'll see what happens in case of endothelial injury mediated by leukocytes. Here, there will be adherence of leukocytes to the endothelial cells. Okay, I already told you in the previous class, this is the endothelial cells. Clear? There will be a leukocytes or the white blood cells will be present. Okay, these white blood cells will be adhere to the endothelial cells. Clear? See, whenever these leukocytes adhere to the endothelial cells, which will be causing activation of leukocytes, okay, which will be causing activation of leukocytes. See, because of activation of leukocytes, which will be releasing, okay, this leukocytes is going to be releasing the proteolytic enzymes as well as oxygen free radicals. Okay, immediately if these proteolytic enzymes and oxygen free radicals are released from these activated leukocytes, then what happens, which will be causing damage to endothelial cells, which will be causing immediate damage to endothelial cells, and which will be increasing the leakiness. Clear? See, and this mostly this process you are going to be observed in case of venules. Clear? And which is a very late response. Okay, this is not an immediate response, which is a very late response. Okay, this we will call it as endothelial injury mediated by the leukocytes. Okay, what is this endothelial injury mediated by the leukocytes? Here what happens, there will be adherence, that is adherence means what, attachment of these leukocytes to the endothelial cells. Whenever the leukocytes adhere to the endothelial cells, immediately what happens, there will be activation of the leukocytes. Clear? Whenever there is an activation of leukocytes, this leukocytes is a cell. Clear? That cell which will be releasing the proteolytic enzymes as well as the oxygen free radicals. See, whenever these components are going to be released, which will be causing damage to this endothelial cells. Okay, whenever there is a damage to the endothelial cells, automatically which will be increasing the leakiness. Okay, this is mainly you are going to be observed in case of venules, and which is a very late response. Okay, and next we'll see regarding another mechanism, how this non-permeable endothelial cells will become permeable. The last mechanism is leakiness in neovascularization. Okay, leakiness in neovascularization. See, what is meant by this leakiness in neovascularization? Okay, neovascularization means newly formed capillaries. Okay, see, if you see, whenever there is a, okay, newly formed capillaries, okay, these newly formed capillaries under the influence of VEGF, okay, under the influence of VEGF, okay, that is vascular endothelial growth factors, okay, during the process of repair and in tumors, okay, during the process of repair and tumors. Clear? See, whenever there is a formation of new capillaries, okay, when there is a formation of new capillaries, if there is any damage, that means during the repair process, and that formation of new capillaries you are going to be observed in case of the tumors. Okay, other than these two conditions, you will not observe the formation of the capillaries. Clear? Newly formed capillaries during the process of repair or in case of the tumors, what happens during this process under the influence of VEGF, that is vascular endothelial growth factors, okay, which will be excessively leaky, okay, which will be causing excessively leaky because of this factor, okay, that is vascular endothelial growth factor. Clear? So this is regarding the leakiness in neovascularization. Okay, what is this leakiness in neovascularization? Neo means new, okay, new formed capillaries. Okay, when there is a formation of capillaries during the process of repair and in case of the tumors. Clear? See, under the influence of one factor, you will call it as vascular endothelial growth factor. You are going to be observe this leakiness. Okay, see this all regarding the different mechanisms how that is non-permeable endothelial layer will become leaky in nature. Okay, we'll see what are that different mechanisms. The first one is contraction of endothelial cells. The next one is retraction of endothelial cells. Next, direct injury to the endothelial cells. Next one is endothelial injury mediated by leukocytes. And the last one is leakiness in neovascularization. Okay, see that's all regarding the changes in vascular permeability. So until now we have discussed only the vascular events. Okay, what are the vascular events? That is which includes hemodynamic changes and the changes in the vascular permeability. Clear? We have discussed only the vascular events. Okay, see that's all students. In the next class we are going to discuss regarding the cellular events.